guys, it's Ashley, and today I am talking about The Road to Becoming by Jenny Simmons. This book was amazing. 5 out of 5 stars for me. You know how sometimes a book just crosses your path at the right time in your life and it's like the author is speaking directly to you? That was this book for me. I bought this book on my birthday and it kind of just like jumped off the shelf at Barnes & Noble. It was one of those kinds of things. I was wandering the aisles, had totally different books in mind, but it was my birthday and so I was just kind of roaming for a couple hours and I saw this book on the shelf and I saw the name Jenny Simmons and I remembered that she was the lead singer in a band that I loved called Addison Road, and they kind of just disappeared, and I followed her blog for a little while and then I don't know what happened, but I just stopped. And so when I saw she had a book, it was like almost immediately I had to buy it, especially when I read what it was about. So the tagline on this book is rediscovering your life in the not how I planned it moments. And that's just kind of how I felt my life has been the past year or two, is like, I'm not where I thought I was going to be by now. And all the dreams that I had and the things that I had planned kind of fell through. And not in like big ways, definitely not to the extent of Jenny's. Jenny's dreams literally were stolen and then burned down and then literally exploded. So that's kind of extreme. My dreams weren't quite as drastic, but still like the thing that I had been dreaming of and planning on since I was 14 just kind of didn't happen, partly because of my own choices, partly because of others' behaviors, and so I've just felt a little bit lost when it comes to things like that over the past year. Reading this book helped me feel like I'm not alone. It was like a balm to my soul. It was just exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. And so Jenny talks about this journey of having this dream that you've dreamed of your entire life, watching it die, and then how you go from that to carrying on with your life. And she talks about how it's important to bury those dreams and grieve for them like you would if someone you love died, because it's such a big part of you. You need to grieve and you need to bury before you can move on. Oh my gosh, I wonder if you can hear that. My brother is being obnoxious and singing upstairs. Anyways, she goes on to talk about things like having a meltdown in the spaghetti aisle and kind of being in this depression but having to move on with life and not knowing where to go. One of the things that I really loved and related to was the way that she talked about relating to God and how God saw her during this time, because like her dream was noble. She was the lead singer of a Christian band that traveled the country bringing thousands of people into worship and into a relationship with God. It's a noble calling. It's a noble dream. And my dream was kind of similar. And so what do you do when that noble kingdom building dream falls apart? It was a good dream. Like, why wouldn't God want you to have that? But she talks about how, God doesn't see the day-to-day life as any less noble, as any less worshipful, that we can worship God and serve God with our lives, whether we're on a stage in front of thousands of people or we're by ourselves taking care of a 2-year-old. And so I just really loved her writing style. This is more memoir than self-help book, but through reading her story and seeing how she pulled out of it, it really helped me to come to terms with my own things and say, okay, I'm in this stage, I need to get to this stage. It's okay if it takes a while. It's okay if I'm sad about missing this dream, and it's okay if this dream never comes to pass in my life. Maybe that was just God's plan for a season. Maybe he has something else in mind. So I just really, really enjoyed this book. I can't say enough good things about it. I know it has mixed reviews online, but I loved it so much. I love her writing style. It's very conversational. It's very much like she's a friend and she's just telling you about her life. But while she's doing it, she's telling you the story of what happened along with random stories mixed in, and it all comes together in a point. And she's bringing scripture into it and she's bringing her faith into it, and it just worked so well. One thing I also really enjoyed was that she talks about the waiting period. In between the burying and the grieving and then the becoming, you have to go through the waiting, where nothing is really certain. You don't really know what's happening. You just know that old dream is dead and you don't have a new dream and you don't know what to do in the meantime. But she talks about this period of waiting and how even in that time, the great comforter is never silent. How he's always there speaking in different ways and guiding, and that it's okay to just sit and wait and sit and worship and heal yourself and build yourself until you get to that point. That it's okay, that it's a divine time. And that is something that I struggle with, is the waiting period. And that's why I kind of put all of this pressure on myself to do something or be something in the meantime. And that might not be the plan. So this book was amazing. It's not going on my regular shelf. It's going to go on my special shelf with the Let's All Be Brave book so that it's somewhere I can always see it and refer to it quickly when I just need that little boost. I loved this book. I cannot say enough good things about it. It is a Christian book, so if you're not a Christian, you may not be able to relate to a lot of what she says, but if you are struggling with this death of a dream and not sure what to do, I highly recommend this book. It's just very relatable, very soothing and hopeful, and I love it. to pieces so much. Perhaps one of my favorite quotes comes at the end, is that we haven't been called to answers, we've been called to Jesus. And I think too many times we go looking for answers and not looking for Jesus. And that's something that I need to try and change this year, because I don't have to have the answers. I don't have to know what the next step is, but I do need to have Jesus. So if you've read this book, if you can relate to this at all, let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later.